Welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts. Okay, so I've been doing some more work on the car over the weekend to get it ready so I can actually test it as a buggy, if you like. It's a bit Fred Flintstone looking, or as somebody mentioned before, or Beverly Hillbillies, I guess. Funny enough, today I got a WhatsApp from Johan. This is a friend of mine that owns the other XK, and he's asking me if he should put these on, which is the 45 DCOE Weber carburetors. And what they've done, this is, fortunately they're actually made for the XK150. You can see the manifold is pretty much the same. The only issue, there's another picture there, beautiful carbs, but I mean, if you like spending a lot of money on fuel, and it's not a race car at the end of the day, and it's not original, so I have to check now and just make sure that the width of the carburetors with the new manifold will fit into the body, and then he's talking about buying them, but he already bought, not new but second hand, because they're very difficult to get hold of at the moment, the HD8s, and we bought new manifolds and some other bits and pieces. I mean, I'd like to keep mine original, and you've heard it, and I think it sounds pretty nice anyway. The Webers are nice, but they're a bit throaty and you can hear them a lot. On an Escort, something like that, they look great, but I don't know about an XK. I don't know. If you tell me, let me know what you think. So yeah, just quickly, the video I did on the Evans coolant, I just wanted to mention that I had quite a few comments on that, and there obviously is two different camps on it. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people are using it, some people won't. And it appears from the comments from particularly people like Paul P. And Keith Miller, who are very knowledgeable. They are fully trained mechanics, master mechanics, and they know their stuff, and obviously they're a lot younger than I am, so they know these modern engines. And it appears that, like they've said, and also Trev, who is definitely, he's the bodywork supremo, and I think he's no slouch when it comes to mechanical work either, after putting this engine in his van. They're all saying the same kind of thing about sensors and this, that and the next thing, because on modern engines, whereas the basic classic engine, I mean the A series, you can't get much basic than that, and the same with the XK. It looks gorgeous, but apart from the twin cam, it really is quite a basic engine. And obviously with modern stuff, there's lots of computer stuff, and you've got to remap it and do this and do that. So I'm not suggesting for a minute you put it in every car. All I'm saying, it was good for my classic car. So I hope, if you're doing any of these things, do your own research, check out yourself, don't take anybody's word for anything. It's like these carburetors. I mean, the guys that are selling them are saying, yeah, they fit an XK150. Well, do they actually fit inside the body, and are the trumpets going to hit the inner wing? I need to check these things out. Anyway, enjoy the video. I'll start to put things together. You'll get a good laugh, because it does look like Fred Flintstone towards the end. Anyway, take care. Bye for now. Bye. A quick thank you to Randy from Lone Star Mini. This is I'll get in front. This is the sign he made for me. I've put it on the ramp, which is brilliant. And I was already talked to Martin about getting a t-shirt done in it. I think it'd be quite cool. Maybe some other logo on it as well. And there it is in the, if I can pan in enough, it is in the Mini. It's just poked in there at the moment, because the problem is the stickers are made, let me come back here a bit. The stickers are made with a sticky bit on the back, and obviously it means you'd have to put it on the outside of the window, which would fade pretty quickly. And I asked Martin if he could make the stickers up with them on the front, and he said no, you need a special machine for it. So, but thanks to Randy for that, I really appreciate it. And on the other post I'm going to put the Jaguar. I'll put the Jaguar on as well on the other post for a bit of fun. So thanks again, Randy, really appreciate it. Okay, so this is Saturday night, and I'm just quite sad that I'm not out on Saturday night, but my wife's in Vienna getting some business sorted out before. I think she's going to be back next weekend. Yeah, so I'm doing a few hours each day to see how I can get this rigged up. So you can see I've used the original tunnel there, and then put this floor work in. The pedals are not in properly; they're just stuck in there at the moment. But you can see that's how they will operate. They're bolted down to here. You can see it's absolutely solid, but they're not bolted in the centre. The idea will be now is what I'll do now is I'll extend this bar from under here and come across onto this one, and then put something over basically something over the back, but it'll have to be high enough that it goes over the prop shaft, because as you can see the prop shaft's quite high there. So I'll make something like a bridge to go over there, and then I've put the old steering column on that one there just to check it, and I'll try and get it so it's as near as damn it to the original. It doesn't matter, it is really only for test. And what I'm going to do is the battery, the fuel tank, if the fuel tank is not in the back, fuel tank and all the bits and bobs will sit here in a box so it's contained, and I will put both seats on. I'm going to use those Cobra seats because they've got the 4-point harnesses on them, and if we're kind of rushing around we don't want people falling out of the car and getting run over, and they're easy to anchor. It's just a matter of sticking a bolt through them. It'll be very basic, but it'll do the job. So now I need to find some bolt holes on the inside. So they said the idea would be is you could just pick it up as a unit and then lift the whole thing, just undo the bolts each side. So there'll probably be 6 bolts holding it down, and then you can just lift the frame right out and pop it onto the other car. That's the theory. We'll see in reality if it actually comes off, but yeah, that'll do the job. Might seem a bit over the top, but the fact we're going to use it for 2 cars, it's worthwhile, and I want to make sure everything's right. I don't want to keep just pushing it around, but better if we can actually move it under its own power. So I'll catch you in the next bit when you see the next part of it built up. So as we go along I'll record a bit. Okay, so this is Sunday morning now. Okay, so what I've done, I've straightened these up. I've actually used these spacers which actually go on the car, and there's fibre washers to go in there as well, to bring this floor level. Not that it's that important, but that's how it would sit on the when the real body sits on it. They have these aluminium spacers and then washers and load spreaders and so on. So what I've done here is I've extended the bar. Again, another spacer. So what I've got to do now is put a hole through that. So that makes it firmer here, and I can put a one of these heavy screw downs, self-tapping into the wood to the steel, which will make it nice and solid. So I put the tunnel on, roughly where it goes doesn't really matter, and I've made this bridge to go over the top, because obviously the prop shaft's got to go down through there and then down. This bridge was more made to make this more stable on the back, for when the seat goes on it. And I've done basically the same thing the other side. I'll put the dashboard up there, but I think possibly what I'll do is it's a bit too far forward, so I might just put that at a little bit of an angle so we can see them better, because the seat's quite low down in the XK, or the dash is further away, put it that way. So the next thing I'll do is get the new the top steering column out, the power one. It's a powered motor which has a rheostat on it, and I'll fit that up and see where that comes to before I put the seat on. But the seats that I'll use will be those Cobras, because they're quite low down, and they have that 4-point harness, which I said is easy enough to fix up. I mean, we're not going to be going crazy, I'm not going around motorways or anything, but just in case. And I will fit the second one just for the fact that 4 eyes are better than 2 and 4 ears are better than 2. And you know, if you're busy driving along you might not hear something, whereas the passenger might. So it does seem quite elaborate, but when you take into consideration it's going on both cars, so it's modular basically, and you know I have to take it on and off the trailer many times, you know, for taking it round to the ramp to wax oil them, on the ramp for other bits and pieces, putting them on the trailer for testing them, coming back here, having to repair things. I will take a toolbox and hopefully repair on site, but not everything will be able to be done there. Taking it for its steering geometry, maybe having to come back, take some shims out, put some shims in. Again, I'll try and do it in there, at the garage if the weather's good, and if not, I'll have to bring them back. So that's the update for now. I'll bring you back when I've got a bit more done. So this is it. I'm going to knock off now. This is a very rough mock-up of roughly where it should be. The steering is not in the right position, but I've had to just use some cable ties and things to kind of mock it up to see if the seat back will go far back enough to do the job, which I think it will. So what I'll do now is I'll make, you can see it's actually not, this has all got to be sandblasted, this lower shaft. This is the original shaft at the top. You can see it's actually pushed forward, and this is the new one in here. This is the kit that you get with it. It's a company called Easy Power Steering. It's all the cables for it, and there's the actual shaft with the motor on it there. Jaguar XK150 control, and in here you can see there is a rear stack there to adjust it. So that's exactly the same, but what you have to do is you have to take off this piece here, and you have to take this piece off as well. So I'll do that. Let's say it's just wide in at the moment, just to see how it will look, and I can actually touch the pedals, and so at least I know I'm roughly within it. And what I'll do, and this seat moves backwards and forwards on a slide anyway. I know it looks really Beverly Hillbillies. Somebody said Fred Flintstone car, which is true. It's a bit Beverly Hillbillies, but it will do the job. It will get us to move it around, you know, probably on, you know, a dozen or so occasions, and then we just transplant it onto this one. Because what will happen is this car will be built first, because I've still got a lot of work to do on my body on my car, and so that won't be done till 2000. It probably won't be on the road till 2020. 2019 it should be almost finished, but it won't be on the road till 20. This one hopefully will be on the road in 19. And yeah, so that's the way we're going to do it. It just gives me an idea now how to make, so what I need to do now obviously is build a bracket here, and then a bracket down on for this one here, which we can put onto the bulkhead. Just rough fabrication, as long as the steering works, and I can try out the easy steering as well at the same time. So I'll work on that over the next day. This will probably take me, it's the weekend and I've only done maybe 2 or 3 hours, a bit of fabrication here and there. So I think all in all it'll probably take me sort of 3 good days of work, which is worth it. So there you are. Beverly's Hillbillies meets Fred Flintstone. As usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and have a good laugh at my expense. Bye.